you're broke right now. Like you have nothing. You're living with your mother. Why don't you see legit? I'm like trying to figure out why they're making those decisions.
Mm-hmm. But you can't.
But I can't because their list is different.
Their list is different. But you said it earlier when you said you have to respect.
Yeah.
You have to, and that's a key word, just to respect how people feel and don't resent them for how they are.
Man.
So not only do you have to respect it, you can say, I mean, I respect that. People throw that out there all the time, right? I respect that, but then I'm really resenting you for not being there for the birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I can respect that. You want to miss the birthday because you have all these ideas in your head about success, and this is something that you're going to sacrifice. I respect that, but then it's may fester. So you have to remember, while you're respecting, don't resent.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hey, what's up? Self-Talk Experience family. We're back.
We are here. We're always going to be here.
Yes, we are. And we're excited about another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. Remember, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what and even who we attract for ourselves. How many of you guys have that memorized by now? You think?
I think a lot of people probably have it memorized.
Yeah, listen, I'm excited about this self-talk experience episode because I believe
of your hair growth journey. Has everybody been following the hair growth journey?
Really?
So if you go back and watch some of the episodes in order, it just gets higher and higher. How long are you going to let it grow? I love it.
It all depends. My daughter, Milan, is the one who recommended that I let it grow. She's like, Dad, you should let your hair grow. I was like, all right. So I just been getting shape-ups. So.
And then the whole beard thing.
Really? Is that what that's
well,
what we're going to do
I
here on
just
this
feel
episode?
like I have like a
so if you guys,
boyfriend or something.
You have so that's what it is.
I love it.
This is after, 28 years of marriage, you just need a little mix up.
What is this?
Mixing it up. So for those who are listening on audio, because we actually have more people to listen than watch, I'm glad because you guys have no idea what she's talking about.
You guys have to watch. You have to watch.
No, listen, keep listening. Don't worry about watching.
What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about something that I feel is critical, and it really helps me to be in a no judgment zone. It really helps me to respect and appreciate why people make the decisions and make the choices that they make without it upsetting me, because I can't really change people who haven't decided to change themselves.
Okay.
It messes up your own peace because you're spending more time trying to get people to change than you are changing how you appreciate and respect their unwillingness to change.
That's so good, because do you know how much time, I can speak for myself, I waste worrying about why someone is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it doesn't necessarily affect me.
Right.
But it really takes up so much space in my mind. So I'm so concerned at what is happening. Right?
No, it's so true. It's so true. I'm telling you,
honest.
this is a release. This is going to free
do.
some people up when they shift this. And I think a lot of people do because they worry about other people.
Sure.
And they want to see other people win in life.
Yeah, but the word that you said that is the key word is judgment. Because sometimes you're telling yourself you're really worried, but that's kind of masked sometimes, I think, is judgment. I think if we're really honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying, do you think no?
No, I'm thinking that's good. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
I'm just thinking in my mind, like, am I being judgmental?
Yeah, sometimes we're none the wiser.
None the wiser. First of all, just so you know, I called my 28-year-old niece, and she said, God, Mommy, I know what none the wiser is. We say it all the time. So that's not an old person thing to say.
Okay.
She's 28.
Well, Janelle, who's behind the camera, is 41, and she had no
idea. Why are you
idea.
telling her age?
I mean, she
might
doesn't
not
look 41.
How old does she look?
Not a day over 40.
You might need to come in front of the camera so we can see.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
She's
right.
She's going to
and
be
y'all
ready.
be like, well, I would give her 43.
Oh, okay.
No, I can joke like that because she really looks young.
No judgment.
No judgment here. So look, we're talking about decisions and choices, right?
Sure.
So check this out. Would you agree with this? that our decisions and our actions on those decisions determine our destiny.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I can tell someone their destiny based on their decisions.
That could be like a t-shirt.
That's very true. But our decisions are sometimes different than what someone else's decision or choice would be because of the value system that we each have in our belief system that's different for everybody. Let me explain. So if I said today, hey, baby, can you make a list of things that you value most?
Okay.
And you would put on there, I know family would be on there, God would be on there, peace and security would be there for you, right? So you have all these things, right? Loyalty is important for you. So you have all these things. On mine would be adventure. And family would still be travel. So I have all these things on my list.
Right.
Then the things that you would avoid in life, right? And I know for you, uncertainty you would avoid.
Being scared.
Right?
Getting in fist fights. I don't want to do that.
So you have all these things, right? And for somebody would be loneliness would be at the top of the things they would avoid, right? Like I hate being alone. So different people have different things. Now watch this. Even if you found two people with the exact same list, where they prioritize different things on that list would be different. So somebody may have family first, and somebody like me may have success so that I can do more for my family. My family is not important, but I know success is important to me because I want to leave a legacy for my family. So that means that when I make decisions, I make a decision to miss out on a birthday so that I can generate a larger legacy for future birthdays, meaning that my grandkids' birthday, so my kids can spend more time with their kids because somebody had to draw a line in the sand. That's my thinking, though. Now, somebody could judge me for that. This is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Somebody could say, I can't believe you missed your child's birthday like I missed Milan's first birthday. Only daughter. And somebody's going to be like, oh, I can't believe you did that. But Milan didn't know she was turning 1 that day. Like she didn't tell you, where's daddy?
No.
She didn't know
it was her birthday.
She didn't even know it was her birthday.
We just didn't tell her.
Right. So
We just celebrate on a different day.
we just celebrate on a different day. But again, somebody may judge me. And all we're saying is that I made that decision based on my values.
Right. But also we can use as an example too, if you really want to get deep, because we're a couple. So that could have been an issue for us.
Yep.
Because even though, like you said, family's on my list, family's on your list, I prioritize it and my thinking of it is different. So that could have been a conflict for us.
Yeah.
So if you look at it on paper, it's like, well, wait, both of you guys have family on the paper. So it's
Right.
okay. But it's not really okay because if you go deeper.
Yep. And that's what I pointed this episode.
Yes. If you go deeper, then we still don't agree.
Right.
So there's still conflict and judgment there.
That's right.
Right.
And this is why we have to respect and appreciate. It's where I started. That people are going to make different decisions than you. Because even if, let's say the list had the same priority, watch this. So we had family on there, we had success on there, you had travel on there, we had the exact same things. You had happiness on there, is important. Like, I don't really care where I live, houses aren't on there as long as we're happy. So we had the same list in the same order. How you define happiness could be different than how I define happiness.
Right.
So now, not only do we have the same list, but now we define family differently. Like how you look at family is different than how I look at family. You like how if we met later on in life and you already had a daughter and already had a son, how you raise your daughter, even though you had family at the same place at number 2, let's say,
Right.
the same place I had my family at number 2, but how you decide to raise your family could be different than how I raise my family.
Well, unfortunately, we all judge how people parent if it's not exactly how you parent. Because, we talk about this all the time. Different isn't necessarily wrong.
And that's the point.
And you have to be very careful because somebody is doing one thing for their child and somebody's doing something else. Both at the end of the day, the kids are happy, healthy, and successful.
Right.
So however they get there, you can't judge how people do that, right?
I know. And this is why, and what you said is so perfect. That should be really the theme, the overarching theme of this entire episode And that is different isn't wrong.
Yes, different isn't wrong.
Right? Because we're not talking about morals here. We're not saying on your list, I got robbing a bank at the top. Like that. We're not, because obviously we know some things are just wrong in life. We're not saying that. We're just saying that some people are going to do things differently. It's like me in business. Sometimes I was trying to understand why people wouldn't make a decision to go invest in themselves to become better in the space that they say they want to be successful in, and they're not willing to give up this, whatever that is, right? Give up a football game, give up. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to put their value system in the same order as mine. And they're not going to make the same decisions that I would make, because for them, entertainment may be high. Right? Relaxation and hanging out may be high. Partying with their friends may be high on their list.
Okay.
And that's just not how on my list. I'm a party after I have success.
Right.
But again, I found myself almost judging or getting upset. Like, dude, listen, you're broke right now. Like, you have nothing. You're living with your mother. Why don't you see legit? I'm like trying to figure out why they're making those decisions.
But you can't.
But I can't, because their list is different.
Their list is different. But you said it earlier when you said you have to respect.
Yeah.
You have to, and that's a key word, just to respect how people feel and don't resent them for how they are.
Man.
So not only do you have to respect it, you can say, I respect that. People throw that out there all the time, right? I respect that, but then I'm really resenting you for not being there for the birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I can respect that you want to miss the birthday because you have all these ideas in your head about success, and this is something that you're going to sacrifice. I respect that, but then it's may fester. So you have to remember, while you're respecting, don't resent.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think it has something to do with it not coming to fruition? Like, if you sacrificed it and you did have the success, then maybe it wouldn't be resentment. It would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you sacrificed that. But if you sacrificed and still didn't have success, then it's like you gave that up for nothing.
No, you didn't really give it up for nothing, because you tried, right? Is it for nothing?
Gave it a shot. Yeah.
You gave it a shot. And if the shot you don't take, you never know.
Right.
Would you have made it or not?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's really fair to do either.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the person like, oh, I don't believe in you. I made it. Oh, I knew you'd always make it. Well, no, don't do that now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, or if you never make it, I knew you weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
So stick with me.
Yeah.
Right? Don't do that.
Yeah. I just think that,
it's a fair question.
And again, it's because like how you define it too. Like, for an example, if stability is high on your list, but someone's defining stability is knowing when their next check is coming in. Like every 2 weeks they get a check and they're like, that's stability to me. Like, I know when my check is coming in. I know exactly how much it's going to be. That's not stability to me. To me, that's not stability. Stability to me is being financially secure. Like being in a place where my money next week actually has the potential to be greater than it was the previous week. If it's every 2 weeks and I know what my check's gonna be, that's a problem for me. I don't feel stable. In fact, I feel unstable. I'm like, I feel like I gotta do something, because I've now allowed, this is my own thinking, so don't judge me because I'm different. I now have allowed someone else to determine what my worth is every 2 weeks. And you can't I can determine my worth. How am I let you determine my worth? I'm actually better next month than I was the previous month, because I know I'm gonna grow through my experiences, through my practice. I'm better. So pay me more next month than you pay me this month if you want to pay me what I'm worth, because I'm worth more next month than I am this month. But that's how I define it.
Yeah, but someone is listening to this thinking you're crazy.
I know. They're like, dude, that's not stable.
Yeah, they're thinking that doesn't make any sense at all.
You know why it's not stable for me? If someone else is in control of taking that 2 week check away, how's that stability? But that's the way I think. Like, you mean at any moment they can take that away from me? That's not stable to me. You mean the economy can change and it goes away? That's not stable to me.
Right.
Right? I need my money quadrupling.
But
isn't that funny though? But that's how
it's a different mindset. And again, you have to respect
that's exactly
how everyone feels. But how about we take it a step further and not just respect, but celebrate?
Ooh.
Let's celebrate our differences.
That's good.
Right? Because I can walk away.
Work on that.
We can walk away from a conversation and say, you know what, babe, I respect that. We're good. Agree to disagree. I respect that. Don't resent you at all. But how about I walk away from that conversation saying, you know what? I celebrate you for that, man. I don't think that way at all, but I celebrate that. And then you can say, you know what? I celebrate the way you think too.
That's good.
And I think sometimes even if you do that, it may cause me to walk away and say, he's actually celebrating. Now, I wonder what, and maybe I'm going to start thinking, maybe I should be thinking a little bit differently, actually.
Wow. You know what's good about that?
Because you're walking away positive.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that was so good. We go back and watch these, by the way, like on Thursdays when they're released, like we're the audience too. Like legit on Thursdays, we watch our own episode and we're like, hey, that was good. And it causes us to then apply what it is that we just taught. Right? So application happens because then you call me out on stuff. You're like, hey, remember you're supposed to be, and it's like now that you said that, I'm going to say, hey, celebrate that though. Right? And so we'll say that. And now all of a sudden we got better. Right? So we are better.
Yeah.
How about this? What if, because a lot of folks do more to avoid pain than they do to attract pleasure. So a lot of folks is like, look, I can't do this. I'm unhappy. I'm not in a place where I feel like we're moving forward. Now, this could be a relationship. It could be a business. It could be life. If that's the case, sometimes we have some internal conflict happening because on this list where you say the things that you don't like, remember we talked about that list, you said fear, uncertainty for you.
Right.
You mentioned fist fight being funny, right? But you had this list, loneliness, like this.
Sure.
What if at the top of the things you're attempting to avoid is rejection? Like someone just told me earlier today, they were like, Mr. Self, I'm telling you that the hardest part for me in business is rejection. I hate no's and I take it personally. So if rejection's at the top of their list of the things they want to avoid, and the things that they want most is success at the very top, like success is high up on my list.
Right.
So success and rejection at the top of these two lists, this internal conflict, because you can't have this that you say you want without this.
Right.
So in some cases, the things that are on the list, you just draw the line, and there's significant conflict from the things we say we want and the things that we want to avoid in life. And if we are avoiding rejection, we're actually avoiding the number one thing. If success is over there, just in this example, we're avoiding success because you cannot, and I normally don't say absolutes, but you cannot have success, financial success, without some type of rejection and objections that you're going to go through. I've not met one successful person that's not had some failure on the way to success. Show me someone that's never failed and I'll show you a failure every day of the week.
Right. But also you're really digging a bigger hole for yourself because every single time you avoid rejection, you're getting farther away from the success that you want.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Yep. There's a chasm that's created because the very thing you say you want is giving you daily the thing you say you fear most, the thing that you are looking to avoid.
Right. Right.
So every time you take a step forward, you'll take 3 steps back. Because if you're doing more to avoid pain than you are to attract pleasure, you're moving further away from the pain than you are moving toward the thing you say you want, which means you're moving further away from rejection than you are towards success, which means you're moving further back than forward.
Wow. Yeah.
And it happens in relationship because you got loneliness over here. Right. And sometimes you got to be alone to work on you. So you write for the person over here, but you're saying, I'm looking for my soulmate.
Right.
So now you refuse to be alone. So you keep picking someone that's not your soulmate because you refuse to be alone. And sometimes you got to be alone to get to the place where you stop making the same mistake we made in the last relationship.
And become more attractive to who you're supposed to draw
So
to you.
that's all I'm saying is that sometimes, but at the same time, we can't judge.
No.
If people are doing that, you have to be there for them and celebrate that, hey, look, are we learning from it? And hopefully we are. Like, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned from my own internal conflict. And I'm still learning because we all have that. I bet if we look at that list, if anyone did this assignment, we'd see there's some conflict there.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. So I think that, and I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that the key here is if we bookmark this, or book in this, it is respect, as you said, celebrate, which you added, which I think is awesome. If someone's different and they make different decisions, there's consequences that come with every decision. Every decision has some consequence, but it's not up to us to judge that consequence or judge that decision. It's up to us to help support it, right? Support that, hey, listen, I am here because I want what's best for you. This is what good friends do. You always want the best light shining on your friends. And the only reason you're going to have a direct conversation with a friend is not because you're judging their decision, but because you want to make sure that they can appreciate the consequence that comes with it. And as long as we clarify that, it's like, I know exactly what comes with this decision. And I'm ready for that.
It has to be genuine, because
they have to, right?
You can see through. If somebody says one thing, but you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
And again, guys, these are just the things that we've learned through the relationships with one another, with others, with our experience in business, and certainly through our personal development journey. So we just come on here to share self-talk experience because we want us to start to say different things to ourselves, about ourselves, so we can start attracting different things for ourselves. And it is hard to do that if we're spending all of our time trying to figure out why people made different decisions than we would have made when they were a different person with different value systems, different belief systems, and different things they're avoiding. And they're defining those things on a list differently. Too many variables for you to keep up with.
It gets deep.
Yeah.
It does.
So I guess we're saying it's mind your own business. All right, guys, for another episode of the Self-Talk Experience. We look forward to seeing you guys next week.
And different isn't wrong unless you're leaving your socks on the floor.
Really?
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.